In a stunning development, 50 Cent is reportedly preparing to reveal a list of celebrities connected to Sean Diddy Combs as part of the ongoing legal case against the music mogul. A trove of documents, which may soon reach prosecutors, could have far-reaching implications. The charges against Diddy, ranging from sex trafficking to racketeering, are being pursued in New York, and these new filings may dramatically alter the public's perception of his iconic parties and business ventures. The list reportedly spans high-profile figures from the worlds of music, film, sports, and fashion, many of whom were regulars at his famed white parties. Could they be called to testify under oath? 50 Cent, who initially raised these concerns, on social media, now appears committed to putting everything on record. As this case unfolds, the spotlight will turn to which celebrities are named, and what role, if any, they played.
A lot of foul shit. Like, behind the scenes, he would do some foul shit. Like, hating on, like, doing things with people I'd done business with that he done business with. He would say shit that I was like, he said that to you?
Right.
I'm like, yeah, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and niggas don't know what they like till they see somebody with it. So they want the girls after you're done with them.
Yeah, leftovers.
Yeah.
They take your leftovers. A lot of time on leftovers.
The new baby oil.
Should start looking gray if you ain't got nothing on it.
Got the new baby oil, bro.
Say baby oil.
Nigga, you ran through 8,000 jars of them in prison.
He was Ashy Larry.
Relax. I still got everybody looking.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's just up.
That's why I'm going to the pumpkin party. You can hug you from the front and the back at the same time.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, me and Dub C ain't never been to a Diddy party, motherfucker.
Like an R-A-P-E-R, got so many essays.
And with Puffy, I know you're not really tapped in, but what
the last thing I saw was like a guy there. He was like, yo, he like pushed me into the trunk. It really hurt. And he started to demolish me. I was like, yo, look, I could find other things to do for money. Did you see the video? I could find other things to do for money. But I'm not sure I can say that for money.
How much is this guy trying to get?
I don't know. Like, it's a simple situation, but it's like
20 mil. I can say it.
You still have the blackest face out. You still have to mimic his voice because he's like,
but his voice wasn't even that different.
And a little deeper. I was like, almost like, no, that's you, young buck.
Yo,
I almost felt like it was him. I almost knew who it was. You know what I mean? I was like, nah, that's Buck. You trying to get money right.
Yo, you can't say that dudes are having sex with other dudes, bro. That might come for you.
A person who was always anti-Diddy and was always speaking about Diddy as a problematic person was 50 Cent. And it turns out that it's just been announced that he's created a docu-series on Netflix. I can't wait to see this. The other end of that, every person who has tried to speak out about this, who has tried to speak out about the industry, the type of people that are controlling the industry, the attacks that people face from the media if they try to speak out, is always the same. They're called crazy. And an example of one such individual who went through those sorts of attacks is the actor Orlando Brown. He was on Disney, and I remember everyone telling us that he was totally insane and deranged when he was saying a lot of things that at the time sounded crazy, particularly about Diddy. Take a listen.
The requirement is you gotta say no to Diddy. If it's new booty in the building, you know he's gonna get it.
Don't take your girlfriend to a Diddy party.
You can take the, but he won't you.
Diddy, to me, is the fall guy. We are still seeing a major effort to protect the big names.
50 Cent is no stranger to calling out Diddy. He's done it online, on stage, and now he's standing by his words. It might seem like I'm doing something extreme, but I'm really not, he explains. I've been saying the same things for over a decade. With recent headlines surrounding Diddy gaining more traction, 50 Cent emphasizes that his stance hasn't changed. This Puffy situation is just now hitting the mainstream, he says, but from the start, I kept my distance. That lifestyle was never for me. It's just not my lane.
Persons in entertainment to really call out people and kind of have that authority in that, to be able to call people out. I mean, which is pretty amazing. You're kind of, in some ways, draining the swamp of Hollywood.
Yeah, I don't have a support system. I don't have a support system of a peer group of artists that I require to do what I'm doing. I've had to be on my own from the beginning. So I don't necessarily have a responsibility to behave a certain way according to them. You know, and look, if I didn't have an award-winning director doing it, if I hadn't put the right people in place to produce it properly, I would understand why they would question or doubt anything that I'm doing. But you go to the 90s, and Kiki D said he paid him to kill Tupac.
Yeah. Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy. I mean,
but I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated to a degree.
But was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what was going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic.
It's not like he hate Diddy, but sometimes they do shit that we don't know about.
Well, for him to make the documentary, I think he hates Diddy.
Nah.
Nah?
That's business.
That's just business?
Business. You wouldn't be mad. Look,
you got to really dislike someone to do a documentary about him.
If Jimmy Iovine did the documentary, when people say
Diddy built far more than legendary parties, he built an empire. From Bad Boy Records and Revolt TV to Ciroc Vodka, De Leon Tequila, fashion labels, and film deals, every venture thrived on his powerful celebrity network. A cosign from icons like Beyoncé or Jay-Z meant instant validation. But now, that same star-studded circle could face serious scrutiny. As 50 Cent prepares to submit documents that may include bank records, contracts, and email correspondence, the inner workings of Diddy's business empire could be exposed. These filings promise to trace the flow of money and raise uncomfortable questions. Who profited? Who looked the other way? And who might now be held accountable?
Entertainment. I named it Bad Boy because I wanted to go against the grain. Anytime you go against the grain, they consider you like kind of bad. Nothing negative, nothing like hardcore. Just, I didn't want to be regular. I didn't want to just make records. I didn't want to just make money. I wanted to make history. And that's all it's ever been about for me, making history. And making music that's timeless. Music that's going to be around when I'm not here, when my kids ain't here. Music that is that good. And having artists and videos and things that, really affect way of life in a positive way. Affect style, fashion, music.
Diddy once reigned over Hollywood's nightlife. His iconic white parties were the stuff of legend. Champagne flowed freely, designer fashion dazzled, and stars like Beyoncé, Jay-Z, and Ashton Kutcher mingled effortlessly. An invitation was more than a pass. It was a golden ticket to the inner circle. But that glittering world came with a cost. Now, the very names that once graced those exclusive guest lists could resurface in legal filings. 50 Cent is reportedly preparing to map out each connection, revealing how celebrity ties wove into Diddy's empire. Soon, the scope will become clear, the whispers will grow louder, and many will wonder, which famous face will flinch when their name lands in the official record?
Michael Rubin's all-white party, the real all-white party was Diddy.
Hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
He started in the late 90s and continued on for a very long time. Now I'm going to show you an announcement of him at the party, and he says at a certain hour the kids have to go home. But before I do that, take a look at all of these celebrities who attended these parties. I'm not saying the people who attended these parties are guilty of anything. I just want you to know how highly these parties were regarded. We are talking the highest names in every industry. What happens at these parties, I have no idea. You may have seen the clip of Keeping Up with the Kardashians where they talk about it a little bit, which is absolutely wild, but generally no phones were allowed, so good luck finding clips of the parties. But watch this clip.
The legendary white party, it's the real white party. And to all the kids have like an hour left. So get extra comfortable, kids.
All the leaked footage of Diddy parties right now is going viral, and here's one clip. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this, right? Nothing crazy is happening, But why would they have anything crazy happening with cameras everywhere, right? Like, they're smarter than that, but there you guys go. More footage is going viral. Shabam.
Give a shout out.
Look at some of music's biggest names. Mary J. Blige and Usher owe part of their early rise to Diddy's influence. He produced Blige's 1992 debut, What's the 411?, a fan-favorite milestone, and even welcomed Usher into his home in 1994 during the singer's formative years. But now, as Diddy faces serious charges including racketeering and sex trafficking, those past connections are under the microscope. Mary J's cryptic Instagram post in March, about burning bridges when necessary, raised eyebrows. Was it aimed at Diddy? Could she, or Usher, be compelled to speak under oath? Both have remained largely silent since Diddy's arrest on September 16th and his not guilty plea the following day. As 50 Cent prepares to present evidence, he's urging the court to examine every photo, every handshake, and every whispered deal. The question now is, will those mentorship moments become part of the case, or will silence speak louder than any testimony?
I met Puff. I was afraid of success, afraid to do anything that could put so much attention on me. And then when I met him, he was the complete opposite. And he was such a good thing for me because I needed what he had. And so his ambition pushed me to be ambitious because I didn't know how, because, you know, when you come from where I come from, you're scared to be ambitious. You're scared to want more. And so when I met Puff, I was, blown away. But it took some years to grow into that and accepting someone that just was so excited about being seen and about having, the lights on them and wanted it for you more than you wanted it for yourself. So, I mean, Puff was a huge inspiration to me.
I want you guys to know, man, it was a terrible thing when we found out that Mary J. Blige's tape came out. You not remember a time, man, when she was with KC from Jodeci, and they were, on drugs, and KC used to put them hands on Mary J. Blige. So back in the day when her freak tape came out, Mary J. Blige even said herself, this was her rite of passage. Guys, I'm born and raised in Las Vegas, and I remember the day, man, she had a concert out here in Las Vegas, and she was so high, she was like, hey, how you doing tonight, Los Angeles? But we was in Las Vegas. But Mary J., as you remember, man, she wasn't the finest thing when she got on the scene. Mouth kind of twisted off to the side. She wasn't the best looking thing. They found her singing karaoke, some Anita Baker karaoke in the mall, and they dusted her up, polished her up, and Angie Stone started writing for her, and she became who she was. But she definitely was a part of these parties, and she has no regrets.
Hey, y'all remember the second album, but Usher does have a first album that's a classic that I executive produced. But most importantly, that's how he became my brother. And to see the way you grow, you have grown, and to see you get better with your craft, and to see the man that you turned into and the consciousness that you have. I know you've been speaking to Harry Belafonte because you hooked me up with speaking to Harry Belafonte. So your consciousness, has really, really been a shining example. And the way you've just spoken and articulated yourself, imagine me having guardianship for you at 13, and then now you speaking the way that you speaking, It's like, I'm so proud of you.
Oh, don't hit me no more. Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. All you heard was Papa, don't hit me no more. Let's go. Kick in the door, waving the 4-4. Hey.
Then there are the industry giants: Jay-Z, Beyonce, Kanye West, Mariah Carey, and Drake, all of whom attended Diddy's lavish 50th birthday celebration in 2019. Jay-Z even posed alongside Diddy for a high-profile Vanity Fair portrait. But now, Jay-Z finds himself entangled in his own legal storm. A civil suit alleges he was present as a 13-year-old with Diddy after the 2000 VMAs. claims he vehemently denies, calling the accusation an act of blackmail. His legal team dismissed the demand letter as fraudulent, and Jay-Z publicly responded, writing, "No, sir, it had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are, in a very public fashion." But with 50 Cent pushing for testimony, the question looms. Will Jay-Z's denial stand firm under oath? And will Beyoncé, Drake, or others from that inner circle be called to testify? These pivotal moments may not just make headlines, they could shape the outcome of the entire case.
It's P. Sean Daddy Brother Puff Love Diddy Combs, or whatever the hell his name is now. We stopped trying to keep track. Celebrating his big 5-0 with some Elaine from Seinfeld moves at a gigantic party at his house, and everybody was there.
The biggest names that were there, Kim and Kanye, Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Is that the order that you want to do that in?
Seriously, you forgot Dougie Fresh, who was also there. He should come first.
The biggest part of the whole night was the fact that Jay-Z and Kanye actually shook hands. They squashed their beat, or at least for that night. Diddy's smiling like, look, I made this happen.
Oh yeah, it was all you, Diddy. Maybe a little help from all the CBD products and Ciroc alcohol that was floating around, but otherwise, all you.
Who else was there?
Who wasn't? Well, maybe not Steve Harvey, because Diddy was banging his daughter. But how about Cardi B and Offset, Kevin Hart, Kobe Bryant, and Post Malone?
They need to understand. Everyone's got to make it. Here we go.
50th. Whoa!
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're happy to be alive in here tonight, make some noise. If you're happy to be alive, yo, let me clear my throat.
Montana, yes sir.
All right, check.
Legendary rapper Jay-Z is denying an allegation that he and Sean Diddy Combs raped a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah, an anonymous accuser identified only as Jane Doe made the accusation in a civil lawsuit on Sunday. It alleges that the assault happened after she was driven to an MTV Video Music Awards after party back in 2000. In a statement to NBC News, Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, called the accusation idiotic, adding, quote, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever should commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree?" Attorneys representing Combs also dismissed the lawsuit, calling it a shameless publicity stunt. Combs is currently behind bars at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center after federal prosecutors charged him in September with racketeering and...
It wasn't just music royalty. Socialites and supermodels lit up Diddy's world too. Paris Hilton danced through multiple white parties, often joined by Nicole Richie and a young Kim Kardashian on a bed in Saint-Tropez. Naomi Campbell graced the Met Gala, then slipped into Diddy's exclusive after-parties. Even Russell Brand claimed Diddy once pressured him into a vacation he didn't want, telling Howard Stern, "Say you don't want to do something and Diddy does want you to do it. It's really hard to not do that thing." Now, imagine those stories resurfacing in court. Will Paris reveal she saw more than champagne showers? Could Kim admit to moments of unease? Their answers, under oath, might rattle even the most loyal fans.
Been to some crazy parties, I'm sure. What's the strangest interaction you've had at a party that was like, what's happening right now?
I remember I was lit and I just started dancing with Paris Hilton. I was like, this is kind of crazy.
That is kind of nuts. What song was playing?
I don't even know. It was one of those nights.
Yeah, okay.